Champions League. We had a massive night last night in the Champions League. A huge night. A monumental night. Arsenal beating Real Madrid 3-0. Nobody expected it. It was a fantastic performance from Arsenal. And, you know, I wasn't best pleased. I wasn't looking forward to that one. I wasn't looking forward to the post-match after that one. I've got to say, I was a little bit disappointed with Real Madrid. But, look, Arsenal have got a 3-0 advantage going into the second leg. And that's huge. That is absolutely massive. But I'll still say this. Don't rule Real Madrid out. You cannot rule Real Madrid out going into that second leg. If Arsenal think the tie is done, and Arsenal fans think the tie is done, I think they're in for a rude awakening, because Real Madrid get an early goal in that first half. I'm telling you, they'll start flapping. They'll start flapping. And just watch. I'm telling you, I think there's still more to come in that game. There's more to come in that game. Real Madrid don't lie down too easily. And, yeah, I still fancy Arsenal to go through, but I would be astonished if it's as big of a breeze in the second leg as it was in the first. But tonight's not about that. Tonight is about Aston Villa. Big game for Aston Villa going to PSG. I mean, arguably, this is a bigger mismatch than Real Madrid against Arsenal, because I've got to say, having watched Liverpool for many, many years, PSG is probably the best team I've seen us face in the Champions League, maybe for the last 10 years or so. I think they were fantastic. They were better than any of the Madrid sides that we faced. I think we've given Madrid a game in a lot of the times we've played them. Barcelona at the Nou Camp, again, I thought we played well. We got beat 3-0, but I think PSG over those two games at the Parc des Princes, where it is tonight, and at Anfield, I just thought they were by far the better team. And yeah, it's a really, really big night tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Lecrayson, up the mighty Villa. Yes, up the mighty Villa. Big night for Aston Villa. Massive night. Let me just double check everything is in working order, because I have had one or two issues with TikTok in the last few weeks. So let's see if this works now. I'm sure it will. Come on. Right, let's try that. Are we working? Come on. Yeah, we're fine. There you go. The audio's on. It's all good. Callum, 2-2. I think this is going to be quite a low scoring one, you know. I think Aston Villa will... I mean, I've not seen the teams yet. I have to say, I haven't seen the teams. 2-1 Villa, you think, Lecrayson? Let's have a little look and see what the lineups are, because I haven't looked at them yet. Here we go. PSG against Aston Villa. Lineups. We'll start with PSG. PSG have got Donnarumma in net. Back four of Hakimi, Beraldo, Lucas Beraldo, young Beraldo, not coming in for Marquinhos. That's a big change. Pacho alongside him and Nuno Mendes at left back. I thought he was terrific, and Hakimi. The two PSG fullbacks were different class. That midfield three, again, Neves, Vitinha and Ruiz. Brilliant. Absolutely unbelievable. And then the front three of Dembele, Kvaratskhelia and Doué. So, a couple of changes. No Barcola, no Hernandez, no Kimpembe. Marquinhos suspended due to yellow cards. Zaire Emery's on the bench, as is Goncalo Ramos. The Aston Villa team is a very interesting one, and I think it gives away a lot. I do think it gives away a lot. The big news for Aston Villa is that Pau Torres is back in. So they've got Emiliano Martinez in goal. Back four of Matty Cash, Konza, Torres, and Luca Dean at left back. Kamara and Tielemans are sitting with John McGinn just in front of them. That's how it's displayed. But I think if we're being dead honest, what we might see is McGinn sitting alongside Tielemans, maybe with Kamara dropping back into more of a sweeper position, almost making that a back five. We've seen him do that at different times in the season. He's already got a lot of experience playing against PSG when he had his time at Marseille. So it's going to be a really, really big night for Aston Villa. They have got Jacob Ramsey on the left, Morgan Rogers on the right, and Rashford up front in a lone centre-forward role, which is an unusual one. They've left Asensio on the bench, which I am surprised by. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought Asensio might get more of a look in this one. He's got something to prove. Disasi's been left out. Mings has been left out. Onana's been left out. I don't know if it's due to fitness. There's some players in there. Ollie Watkins is on the bench. It's a really unusual Aston Villa lineup. I would have thought Ollie Watkins would have started. I would have definitely had Onana in there. I think Disasi's been quite good, and Asensio. So big surprises in that Aston Villa lineup. Marlon's not been included in the Champions League squad, by the way. I saw someone ask about that. So yeah, Marlon has been left out. He won't be included in tonight's game. He's not in the Champions League, the round of this Champions League round, so he won't play. Leon Bailey is out with a knock. Alex Garcia is out with a knock. And there's that Champions League music. Oh, I miss it. From a Liverpool perspective, I really miss it. But we are approaching kickoff. Sumik, Mukherjee, Rashford always scores against them. Well, he has done well against them for Man United, hasn't he? Arthur, how you doing, Prem Dad? Good to see you, mate. Hope you're looking forward to Spurs tomorrow night. Big night for Spurs tomorrow. Is Rodgers starting? He is. He's on the right. Ramsey on the left. Rodgers on the right. Rashford through the middle. But something tells me we might see a fair bit of rotation there, because Rodgers tends to drift in. Rashford tends to drift wide. Maybe Ramsey switches. I think that Villa midfield isn't going to stick where it is. So it's going to be an interesting night. Rubes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm not going to say the G word, but thank you for the G. I'm not going to say it because every time I seem to say the G word, I get warnings and bans and whatever. So I'm not even going to say it. Even though I've never ever asked for G's, but they're always appreciated. So thank you very much for the G's. Arthur, that's Villa's loss secures. I know as a Spurs fan I shouldn't say this, but I think we're out against Frankfurt. I don't. Listen, I watch Frankfurt quite a bit. I do watch Frankfurt quite a bit. And they're not... Since Marmoush left, they've not been terrific. Ekatiki's still a very, very good player. But I saw him get beat comfortably at the weekend against Bremen. They were awful. They got beat not long before that. Who was it? Union Berlin. They got beat against Berlin not long before that. They got battered a bit against Leverkusen. Battered against Bayern back-to-back. Frankfurt are nothing special. They really are nothing special. I don't know if they're third or the fourth in the Bundesliga, but they're doing all right. And since Marmoush left, they've kind of dropped off a little bit. So, for me, I don't think Spurs have anything to fear against Frankfurt, and they should really have a go at him. Sumik, Rashford should have been on the left and Asensio front. I agree with that. I think Asensio makes a big difference in a game like this. We will beat Lyon tomorrow. I don't think you will, mate. I don't think you will. I'm doing a live watch along of that one as well. But I don't think you will. I'm looking forward to that. Right, we're off. We are off. You might have seen, by the way, for anyone who's new to the channel, or not new to the channel rather, you might have spotted that I have a rather snazzy new scoreboard. I've invested in a rather snazzy new scoreboard. It's not fantastic, but it's a little bit better, and it will mean that when PSG or Villa score tonight, it won't flash up an Everton badge as it did last night when Arsenal scored. So yeah, we've got a little bit more sort of control over what we see on the scoreboards. Sumik, we will be winning the Europa League unbeaten. Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I'm really not sure about that. Cute scoreboard, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's not cute, but it's better than it was. It's better than it was, I've got to say that. I'm trying to see if I might be able to make it a touch bigger, actually. Can I make it any bigger? No, I can't. PSG. Oh, they've skied it. Right, there you go. That's as good as it's going to get. That is as good as we're going to get with the scoreboard. Right, to your 2 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're all synced up. We're all synced up. We are still only unbeaten in Europe. Is that true? I didn't know that. That United are the only unbeaten side left in Europe. If that's the case, then, fair play. That's a result as far as Ruben Amorim is concerned. Come on. Right, sorry. Miles off. It's true. Only because we lost to Alkmaar. Oh, yeah, Chelsea. Surely Chelsea aren't unbeaten. Or Chelsea have got to still be unbeaten. Kane, did you see the Matic and Onana beef? I did, yes. I did. Beef is probably a bit of a stretch, isn't it? I mean, Onana's kind of clawed back on it, hasn't he? Because he's come out after it and said, I would never be disrespectful to another team. But he's given an interview where he said, oh, chance, shot from, is it Vitinha, just outside the area there. Low and hard, straight at Emiliano Martinez. Good shot, good save. Yeah, no problem with that. Yeah, Onana said in an interview that he thought that Manchester United were far better. Again, I might be paraphrasing, but effectively said that Lyon are nowhere near as good as us and we're far better than them and we should go out and prove that. Which I don't really mind. I don't necessarily think that's disrespectful, but, it's probably not well advised. Like, if, again, you're just doing the Lyon team talk for them, aren't you? You're just doing the Lyon team talk. If you're Ruben Amorim, you're saying to your players, listen, if you're getting any interviews, any at all, just before kickoff, do them by all means. Go and do them. That's fine. Don't say anything disparaging about the opposition. Don't say that they're not as good as us. Don't say anything about a particular player. Don't say anything. Don't talk good about them. Don't talk bad about them. Just say you're looking forward to the game. Just give neutral comments. Because as soon as you come out and say, yeah, we're well better than them, the Lyon manager just has to go, yeah, there you go, lads, just a heads up. These all think they're miles better than you. So every Lyon player comes out with the chest puffed out and they're ready for a big game tomorrow against Man United. And, Matic quite rightly bit back, didn't he? Matic looked at that and went, well... And it showed that it's got to him. Because Matic just come out and said, absolutely, we're not taking any of that abuse from maybe the worst goalkeeper in Man United's modern history. And depending on how far back you want to go with modern, I think I would agree with him. Chelsea got beaten. Real Betis to win the UEFA Europa Conference League. Yeah, Betis, Fiorentina. There's some good sides left in that Conference League, isn't there? But I am going to be live tomorrow night for 5:45 for Chelsea away to Legia Warsaw. He doesn't really, he's not the worst goalkeeper in United history. He didn't say United history, did he? He just said United's modern, maybe the worst goalkeeper in United's modern history, which I would say is probably about accurate. He's worse than De Gea. He's worse than Van der Sar. He's worse than pretty much every other first team Man United goalkeeper I can remember. I prefer Matic over Onana because Matic played for us, more likeable. He's really not though. He's made a few mistakes, but he's also done a lot of good things. He's a bad goalie. He's a bad goalie. For a team that's meant to be competing, he's a bad goalie. You've just mentioned legendary goalkeepers. All right, but I know you could go even further back. Like, I would say he's probably worse than Romero. I'd say Romero was better. I would say Valdez was better. Chance, PSG. Nearly a chance there. Oh, good save by Martinez. It's all PSG. They've started strong. There is going to be a check here. I think they've a slight. Oh, do you know he kicked out at him? There might be a penalty there. The fact that he got up, I tell you what, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. They're not even going to look at it. Wow. Wow. Do you know what? And we wonder why players dive. We wonder why players dive. You know, there's an Aston Villa leg there that kicks out at Kvaratskhelia. He kicks him. He does. He kicks him in the shin. You can see it. He kicks him in the shin. Kvaratskhelia goes down, but gets up because the chance is still there. And he fires it on goal. It's a good save from Martinez. But I think, I'm a big believer in players shouldn't have to go down to get penalties. If you're a referee, then... But then again, equally, I'm talking out my backside because I'm also saying I want a higher threshold for penalties. So, yeah, fine, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Tom, what do you think of Van Dijk and Salah close to new deals? Yeah, big. Yeah, very, very big. Alf, hello. Sorry, by the way, Alf, I forgot to mention. Thank you for saying hello. He's worse than Bayindir. Yeah, but Bayindir's not a first team goalkeeper. Coming back to the Van Dijk and Salah news, I think we all knew, Liverpool fans certainly, I think we all knew that was the case. And I think as long as the Trent news, we've been waiting on the Trent news, it's always been likely that once the Trent news is confirmed, those two come out and confirm. Because, again, Robbie Fowler said it earlier in the season, he thinks, and a lot of Liverpool fans, including myself, have thought, that Salah and Van Dijk actually agreed verbally to sign a long, long time ago. Oh, just over again from PSG. Pressure is building here for PSG. It's really all on Aston Villa at the minute. Their backs against the wall. Yeah, so I think it was always inevitable that Van Dijk and Salah would sign at some point, and it would always happen once Trent's news had started to drip feed out. And now we're getting that information. It's just, yeah, it's inevitable. So I'm not too worried about it. What was worse, De Gea's final season at United or Onana? I think Onana's probably just about made more errors leading to goals than De Gea. If you look at errors leading to goals this season, I think Onana's top 3 in the Premier League. He's up there. He's definitely up there. And yeah, no, I don't think he's like a terrible goalkeeper or anything. He's just not like a top... If you want a reliable goalkeeper to challenge for the top 6 with, it's not Onana. Onana is a goalkeeper that you have at West Ham. No disrespect to West Ham, but you know what I mean. A mid to low table Premier League club. Brentford, Palace, West Ham, based on recent years. So yeah, I just don't think he's good enough for a United side that wants to achieve more than it is. you're never going to get it with Onana. He's a bad purchase. 50 million quid for Onana. It was a bad deal. And if you ask any Manchester United fan, would you want a new goalkeeper in the summer? Take the emotions out of it because they don't want to be proved wrong. And he's not an unlikable guy. He seems like quite a likable goalkeeper. He just makes a lot of mistakes. I think United fans would swap him. Absolutely. Vicario overrated. Vicario's much better than Onana. From my point of view as a Liverpool fan, I have no horse in the race. I don't think Onana is anywhere near as good as Vicario. Don't think Vicario's exceptional, by the way, but I would put him in my top 5 Premier League goalkeepers. Onana isn't a bad goalkeeper. It just hasn't worked out at United. That's true. Again, I don't think he's a terrible goalkeeper. He's never ever going to be what United need him to be. He's another player whose career has been ruined by Man U. Do you know what? And that might be the case as well, by the way. Before we determine that he's a terrible goalkeeper, we might also just chalk it down to the fact that actually he's playing in front of a defence that's changed every single time pretty much that he's played. So as a goalkeeper, it's hard to have any consistent communication when he's always had a new left back, he's always had a new right back. The 3 centre-halves in front of him keep changing. That's got to be difficult for Onana. So, yeah, look, I'll give him enough credit to think that he's not a terrible, terrible goalkeeper, but it's not going to work out for him at Man United. Aston Villa chance here. Whoa! Donnarumma came flying out of his goal, didn't get anywhere near it, and Aston Villa knock it back into the box. It's cleared away, but goodness me, reckless from Donnarumma. Career ruined. He's won trophies. He has won trophies, but he came to Manchester United, I think it's fair to say, Kane, as one of the best goalkeepers in football, or certainly that was his reputation at Inter. A bright young goalkeeper. He's not lived up to that, has he? And if Onana was put up for sale tomorrow, what sort of clubs would be interested in him? I would argue it's the same situation as Anthony. Anthony was a bright young player at Ajax. He's gone to United. It hasn't worked out. He's gone to Betis and immediately looks a much, much better player. Again, I wouldn't say he's a world beater, but he looks a much, much better player. Betis are doing really, really well. And he kind of ran Barcelona ragged the other night. He did really well. And I think Onana could do the same. But if you put Onana up for sale tomorrow, you wouldn't get anywhere near the 50 million you'd paid. And the teams that would be after him, I would argue, would be lower level Champions League sides, maybe upper level Europa League sides. Lazio. Marseille. That sort of a group. Villarreal. That sort of a group. Alisson for Man United. Don't even start Rubes. Don't even start rumours like that. Don't speak it into existence. Alisson Becker's far too good for that club. I tell you what, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable from Vitinha there. Switched it over the top to Hakimi. Aston Villa just slightly lucky that it's gone out for a goal kick. I think he made the United move too early, and I think Eric was naive to buy mostly Ajax players. You at least get 25 million for Onana. Still half price. Still half what you paid for him. And I think even 25 million would be generous because, well, put it this way, what do you get for Quivy Kelleher? If in this market, I think Kelleher probably goes for about 30 million. So Onana's not going for 25. I think United make a sizable loss on Onana if they were to put him up for sale now. De Gea and Onana both made mistakes in FA Cup final. De Gea v Gundogan, Onana v Doku. They've both made big, high-profile mistakes. Brighton would be a good team for Onana. I would agree with that, Rubes. I would agree with that. Because Verbruggen's another one. I actually think, again, I'm not sure if everyone's seen the same stats that I saw, but I was looking at errors leading to goals for goalkeepers this season, and Onana, I think, is third or fourth. I think he's third, and the keepers that are ahead of him are Verbruggen and I think Ramsdale. But Verbruggen is one of them, definitely. He's one of the ones ahead of him. Sumik, he should start learning Arabic. I can see that. Again, I think that's probably the most likely outcome is Saudi. Very similar to what Darwin Núñez is going to end up doing. I think leaving Liverpool, he'll go to Saudi just because that's where Liverpool will get the most money back for him. And he can go and get a nice juicy contract. And maybe he might only stay there a year or two, but he'll get a good bit of cash for it. Same with Onana. Arthur. So are we putting De Gea down as a bad keeper then also? Nah, De Gea wasn't a bad keeper. He was a fantastic keeper for a long time, but he overstayed by maybe 2 to 3 years. Matty Cash has just been booked. Matty Cash booked. Free kick to PSG just outside the area. Well, about 50 yards outside the area. They've played it short. They're going to float it in. Oh no, they're going to go for a shot. Straight at Martinez. Some class shirts in the back. Thank you very much, mate. Got a PSG shirt, funnily enough. Is it that side? Yeah, it is that side, isn't it? I was looking then which way the camera was. I didn't know which way it was. But we've got a PSG shirt that side. I have got a Villa shirt somewhere. I've got a Villa shirt. What have I just heard? The hate on De Gea is way over the top. De Gea should have went to Madrid when he's at his peak but stayed out of loyalty. Yeah. I think De Gea was a good shot stopper. Which, you expect keepers to be, but when it came to that whole passing out from the back, ball comfortable with the ball at his feet, that wasn't his game. That was never his game. And that's where De Gea fell down. As soon as that started to come in with Ten Hag, a little bit with Solskjaer towards the end, it was just never ever going to work for him. My favourite Man United goalkeeper. He wasn't a bad goalkeeper. He really wasn't a bad goalkeeper. It's just that final season he was shocking, you can't deny. I do. Have you seen Valencia keeper? He scored. Ain't no chance you're a United fan. Oh no! In all fairness, he should have saved the other keeper's pen, but I knew he wouldn't score. There's quite a lot of ex-PSG players in this Villa side. I've only just realised. Lucas Digne used to play for PSG, didn't he? Asensio, Luca Digne. That might be it, actually. I know Kamara used to play in League One with Marseille. Is there anyone else I'm missing? Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anyone else, is there? My camera's gone all funny. Has my camera gone funny? I think I look a little bit fuzzy. No, I'm okay. I'm gonna shift forward a little bit. That looks a little bit better. Is that a little bit better? There you go. United fan today saying Delap, Cunha and Ahmad wouldn't be a good front three for us next season. Hi Lucas, how you doing? Who do you support, Lucas? Help us out. We've got a lot of Man United fans in the chat. A lot of Man United fans, a couple of Spurs fans, and a Liverpool fan, me. So, Get amongst it. Get involved. Chelsea fan. Good lad. We're watching Chelsea tomorrow. I'm doing a watch-along 5:45 Legia Warsaw against Chelsea. Early game. You guys have to win that Conference League, don't you? Surely. You'll be the first team ever to complete a clean sweep then, won't you? Europa League, Conference League, Champions League. No team's ever done that. I mean, admittedly, the Conference League didn't exist until a few years ago. But still, Chelsea will be the first team to do it. Assuming you do. I mean, Betis and Fiorentina, I think, will give you a ruddy good game. Sumik, I don't want Delap. I want Osimhen. You're forgetting the best team. Who's the best team? In Brighton. Brighton aren't in the Europa Conference League. Who are you on about? Ahmad deserves a better club. Listen, Ahmad's a very good player, but again, I think Ahmad's going to get overrated to a degree. He's a very good player, but look at what happened to Mainu. Mainu was also given that treatment. Chance for PSG from the edge of the area. Just over the bar from Vitinha. Still can't believe he played for Wolves. I think Delap... I would want Delap at Liverpool. I heard the news today, by the way. Again, I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but the release clause for Liam Delap, if Ipswich go down, is £30 million. And City gets £6 million. Well, they get a 20% sell-on fee, so they'd get £6 million for that. Ipswich would get 24. And at 30 million quid, I don't see a side in the Premier League that isn't interested in that. I would love him at Liverpool. For 30 million quid, I think he would be phenomenal. You can't not take a chance on that. So he would, I would argue, have his pick of Premier League clubs next season. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Liverpool decided, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of Jota, Diaz, Nunes. We've still got Salah, we've still got Gakpo. But we're going to get rid of Diaz, Nunes, Jota. And we're going to bring in Liam Delap. Apparently Semenyo is very close for Liverpool. And we go and get another striker, whoever that might be. Might be Ekatike, might be... Isak is another one we've been linked with, but again, I'm not sure. I think Isak, the more I'm seeing Newcastle, the more I'm seeing they might end up making the Champions League and he might stick it out for another year. Osimhen's a very Chelsea signing. I've said that all season. I think he's a very, very Chelsea signing. Arthur, did you know we were the first team to win a European trophy? I do. It was the Cup Winners' Cup, wasn't it? Back in the day. Barcelona 1, Dortmund 0. No promises Osimhen would perform in this league. That's true. I do think Osimhen would do well, though. I think he is a Premier League player. I just worry. I think he's very much someone that would blow hot and cold. But when he's hot, he's absolutely on it. So I think he'd be a player that would. He's a bit of a confidence player, isn't he? So I think he'd be good in fits and starts. You said who people support. Sorry, Rubes. Sorry. You're right. I neglected to mention Brighton. Arthur, I think Mainu is underrated. Do we? I'd say he's overrated. Like, he's a good young player, but like I saw Adam McCullough. Adam McCullough literally said to Paul Scholes on the overlap that I haven't seen another midfielder like you, Paul Scholes, until Kobbie Mainoo came through. Like, he's that good. He is that good. And I was like, what are you saying? Like, you're comparing the kid to... I think he also made a reference to Zidane. I was a bit like, Zidane, Scholes, like, let's just wind it back a little bit. Like, he scored in a cup final. He's a very young lad. Yes, he's played a bit for England. Oh, lucky PSG just whipping it in there. Big chances coming forward for them. Aston Villa on the counter. They can't get out. They cannot get out. Cannot get out. There's only Chelsea and United for him at the moment, according to Ben Jacobs. I think that could change. Again, you can't put too much stock in the rumour mill at this stage of the season because so much can change. As I said, a lot depends on where these teams finish up. That is a really, really big thing. As I say, if Newcastle get Champions League football, Isak is probably unavailable. That probably changes the plans of other teams around Europe, and it'll have a domino effect. Just if Newcastle get Champions League football, Isak probably stays. Therefore, Arsenal may look to Watkins. Arsenal may look to Gyökeres. They may look to Gyökeres, and then Man United, who thought they had Gyökeres, now go, oh Christ, we need to react. So we'll go and get Sesko. And Sesko's a player that maybe Chelsea wanted. It just affects everything. So you can't rely too much on rumours and who likes who right now. The only concrete thing you really know is that, up to this point anyway, is that Delap has a £30 million buyout clause if Ipswich get relegated. Sumik, why Núñez should extend his contract. I like Darwin Núñez. I wouldn't be bothered at all if Liverpool announced tomorrow that he's staying. I just kind of want some certainty for him at the club. I actually think he's a very good striker, and I think if he goes elsewhere, I hope he doesn't go to Saudi. I am telling you, I will nail my colours to the mast on this one. If Darwin Núñez goes to a Real Madrid, a Betis, a Villarreal, wherever it may be, it's a big amount of money, so he's probably more likely to go to an AC Milan or Juventus or somewhere like that. Wherever he ends up, if he stays in mainland Europe, I think Darwin Núñez goes on to become one of the best strikers in the world. I do think he's that good. He just doesn't get enough regular minutes at Liverpool. He gets minutes off the bench, a couple of starts here and there. He made a couple of mistakes when he was a younger striker. His finishing was a bit erratic. But he's a bloody good player. He really is. He's a very, very good player. Can't believe Rafinha used to play for Leeds. Leeds, and he might win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, for Rubes, you ain't getting Isak. I don't think we are getting Isak. And I'll be honest with you, Rubes, I don't really want Isak. I don't really want him. Nothing to do with the player or how good he is, because he's a very, very good player. But he's very expensive for what he is. I wouldn't be paying any more than 80 million for him, let's say that. If we paid 80 million for Isak, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. It's in the same league as Darwin Núñez. Maybe we go a touch higher, maybe we go to 100, with add-ons and everything. As soon as you start getting beyond that, it's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. No player is worth that amount of money. It's far too much of your budget. Liverpool do need a little bit of a rebuild, and I would rather we go and get 2-3 other players for that sort of money. Mainu is not as good as Scholes. Yeah, I think that's fair. Mainu is like a Vitinha type of mould, good with his body movement, going on the ball. He is good on the ball. And I like Mainu. I actually think he's a very likeable lad, and coming through the United setup, I would hope that he gets more minutes. I don't like the rumours that Manchester United are talking about selling him because of his book value, to the finances, to the financial fair play. And if he did become available, then Chelsea and various other clubs, I'm sure, would be interested, because he is a good young player. But it kind of makes me sad when United are talking about letting players like that go. Lucas Barham, how are you? I'm really good, mate. It's my birthday in 2 days. So I've got tonight's stream. I've got tomorrow's streams with Chelsea and Legia Warsaw, and Lyon against Man United. And then Friday, I'm off. I'm out on the town. I'm gonna get a birthday cake. I don't really need the cake, but I'm gonna get a birthday cake. Reece winning the Champions League. Oh, Reece, pipe down, mate. We just got over Arsenal. Nobody's mentioned Arsenal tonight until you came in. Rubes, Newcastle are getting Champions League. I think they are. I think you're right, yeah. They're almost certainly going to get the Champions League. If they win their game in hand, they're a point behind Forest, which is big, very big. Arthur, I think Núñez is a great player, not perfect, but he's great. That's it. I think he's a flawed genius. He's our agent of chaos. You know, he's a player who can come in. He causes absolute chaos every time he comes on. We've seen him score late winners. I've seen him score some of the best finishes I have seen from any Liverpool player. I would include Darwin Núñez. That finish away to Newcastle to win it, unbelievable. The finish away to Newcastle to equalise was brilliant. His movement against Brentford to win it, you know, the header against Nottingham Forest to win it late on. He's done it for us in so many big moments, so many big games, and he works tirelessly. I just think he needs a manager to come in and give him some love, and he's not had it from Klopp, and he's not getting it from Slot. So yeah, I think he will do well somewhere else. I hope Bayern win Champions League. It'd do Kane good. Kane might sweep up this year. You know, he's on course to win a Bundesliga. Yeah, they might be on for a double. But not based on what we saw last night. I was watching the highlights and Inter were terrific in that game. Full value for the win in Germany, which is a big, big ask. Aston Villa are just getting a little bit of a foot on the ball now. They're still not managing to string too many passes together, but they're managing to at least get away from their own box, which is a change from the first 20 to 30 minutes that we've seen. Sumik, they won't. Inter will beat Bayern. I think you might be right there, Sumik. I think Inter were really good last night. Martinez's goal was better than Rice's free kicks last night. The technique in open play, different class, yeah. Núñez suits Atletico Madrid. He certainly suits Simeone, doesn't he? You know, if you was to take, say, Sorloth out of that Atletico Madrid team and put Darwin Núñez in there, yeah, he's an Atletico Madrid centre forward all day. Simeone would make a beast out of Darwin Núñez. Lucas, what are the transfer rumours? I mean, there's loads, mate. We've just been talking about Liam Delap being linked to United and Chelsea. He's got a £30 million buyout clause. We've been talking about Osimhen to Chelsea, to United. We've been talking about maybe Gyökeres to United. There's quite a few. Villa get into the box for the first time. Oh my God, they're in! It's 1-0! It's 1-0 Aston Villa. Oh my goodness me. It's Morgan Rogers at the back stick. And Prince William's absolutely bouncing. Prince William absolutely bouncing. It's Morgan Rogers at the back stick. That is sensational from Aston Villa. Absolutely sensational. Unai Emery staying calm there. I don't know how. I'd be giving it the Jose Mourinho up the touchline. That is unbelievable. They are flying here, Aston Villa. And Arsenal fans will be cheering this just as much, you know, because if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, the winner of this tie is who you're playing in the next round in the semi-final. Arsenal are potentially, assuming they beat Real Madrid, two games from a final. They've not seen a final in nearly 20 years in Europe. Unbelievable. John McGinn was terrific there. It was fantastic from Rashford, and the ball across. Is it from Tielemans? And it's just a tap-in at the back post. It's actually really, really well worked from Aston Villa. It's really, really well worked, that. Phenomenal goal. And it's just a tap-in at the back stick for Morgan Rogers. They've switched off PSG. As I said, the entire 30-35 minutes has been all about PSG. They've had all the ball. Villa have been penned in their own half. And immediately Villa, the one time they've got forward, they've knocked it into the box. They've worked a little clever move. Cross across the face of goal. Rogers with a tap-in at the back post. Wonderful counter-attack. Exactly what you want. A proper away performance, this. This is incredible. And if Aston Villa get a result here, seriously, if Aston Villa get a result here, a win here is bigger than what Arsenal did to Real Madrid last night. Massive. Absolutely massive. Onana will go to Saudis. I had the same agent Mendy did when he wanted to move there. Oh my God, go on Rodgers, go on Emery. Emery has motives. Villa's on fire. Your defence is terrified. I was listening to... oh, here we go, Alfie. You're right, Alfie. How's it going, Chief? Handsome Alfie Bacon. Yeah, I was looking at City have hired, apparently, this was the news out yesterday, have hired restructuring specialists. Because apparently they are set to make some large-scale redundancies at the end of this month, which seems rather odd, given that City have got so much money. They've got like £400 million profit and sustainability headroom. They'll finish well above what they need to. Probably the most profitable club in Europe, if not the Premier League, but certainly, one of. And yeah, they're looking to cut maybe 2 to 3% from their cost base, is what is being alleged. And it's an odd move from a club that's doing so well, according to the books, for them to be using lawyers and corporate restructuring specialists, which suggests they're planning quite large-scale redundancies, which is an odd move from Manchester City, but it does suggest that they know something's coming. Again, we don't know. This is all very much alleged, but it's interesting. I thought that was quite an interesting piece of news that came out yesterday. Are you good, lad? I am good, mate. I'm good. How are you? I am interested in how PSG approach this now, because that's got to have floored them, especially after the Liverpool result. I mean, I'm sure they'll look at it and go, yeah, well, Liverpool, we ended up beating them and going through. But they battered Liverpool, and then, chance for PSG. Unbelievable save there by Martinez. I don't know how he keeps this out. Watch this back if you get a chance. That was an unbelievable save by Martinez. I think it was it Doué who has the shot. PSG are coming back at Villa now with force. They're absolutely flying. Comes out to Dembele. Shot. Oh my goodness me. Oh, it's Doué. It's 1-1. That is incredible. Unreal. You're not stopping that one, Martinez. You're not stopping that one. Different gravy. PSG 1, Aston Villa 1. Getting stick for Vitinha not being in my combined 11. Vitinha is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there you go. That's how quickly it can change. That is the quality that PSG have. We talked about how quickly it can change for Arsenal in Madrid. And it can. And we've just seen there how quickly it can change for Villa in Paris. 1-0 up, just a few minutes. And that is an unbelievable strike. Unbelievable. Phenomenal strike from distance there. He's just, do you know what? He's just put his foot through that. It feels like he's just swung at it, almost just... There's not an awful lot of technique behind that. It just feels like he's off balance and he's just thought, balls to it, I'm just going to smash it. And he's absolutely howitzered it into the top corner, off the bar. Villa will have late night celebrations for bringing in front for 4 minutes against PSG. Hey, listen, nothing wrong with that. Even if they get away from this with a point, that's a good result for Villa. A point at the Parc des Princes is not a bad result at all going back to Villa Park. I bet you if you'd have offered that to Villa fans before tonight, they'd have all took it. They'd have all taken that. Callum, you said a low-scoring game, Kieran. Looks like it's going to be a high one. Well, up to now, I wouldn't have said it'd be 1-1 at half-time, but I thought Villa would try and keep it cagey. And they have done, in fairness. They've kept it very, very cagey. They've defended very deep. And they've hit on the counter-attack. Chance for Villa. Oh! I thought there was a claim for a penalty there. Villa are deadly at home. Villa are going to have to really step it up at home. PSG specialise in playing on the counter-attack. It's exactly what they did against us at home. And Kvaratskhelia is so good. But I mean, as we've seen, I'm not writing Villa off at all because look, they've just done that to PSG. PSG have battered Villa. All this first half, Villa flew forward one time, one counter-attack, and they scored. Rashford here, brilliant run. Rashford. Oh, that was a great run by Rashford down the left-hand side. Chance. Big chance. Villa Park's so underrated. It's a very good place to go and watch a game of footy as well, Villa Park. 2-2, I'll stick with it. Well, your prediction's looking better than mine, Callum. We made PSG look good. No, we didn't. We didn't make PSG look. PSG are a bloody good side. They're a very good side. And I still think they go through. I do still think they go through. I'm saying 2-1 PSG, then Villa win 1-0 second leg, and PSG win on pens. It might be. That's fair enough. It's a close one. It's Martinez. It's just the effort that Martinez kept out. It didn't quite sneak over the line. Hi Leo, how's it going? PSG breaking down the right-hand side. Pulled back to Kvaratskhelia. Oh, unlucky. Corner to PSG. Corner! They just keep taking it really short every time. They're not even bothering whipping these in. Dembele driving forward. Good save by Martinez. Chance if they get this right. Oh, skied it. Skied it. Do it again. He's causing some real problems, that lad. Leo, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. A Liverpool fan, but I watch every game that's on football, pretty much. Much to my missus' annoyance. Yeah, I'll watch anyone. I love watching football. I'm an absolute nerd. So I'm a football fan first. Does anyone remember when we lost 5-4 to Everton in the 2021 FA Cup? Yes, I think 2021 5-4 was for some reason did Bernard score in that? Do I remember that right? Edward, hey Prem Dad, sorry I'm late. What have I missed? It's PSG 1, Villa 1. You've missed a really good first half of football, Edward. Yeah, it's Leeds, isn't it? Who's that? Is that oh, extra time. Yeah, it's Leeds, isn't it? Who's the lad in the league? Who is it? Who's the player? Who's the player in your profile picture, Leo? That's cute. It was 4-4, then Bernard or someone in extra. I don't know where I've remembered that from. I've just pulled that out of nowhere. But yeah, that was immediately what I remembered. Bernard scoring in extra time. I think that broke my heart. I think I lost a few bets that night. Matteo Joseph, that's the one. Yeah. Lots expected of him, isn't there? It's not Somerville. Somerville's at West Ham, isn't he? Wouldn't have a West Ham player in his profile picture if he supported Leeds. PSG are winning all the second balls now. They're flying forward. Big chance in the area. Oh, Villa riding the luck. Very lucky. Villa now on the counter-attack. John McGinn out wide. Here's Rashford. There's 2 added minutes. We're in 30 seconds of 2 added minutes. Oh, Rashford slowed it down. They're just going to try and get it to half-time now, I would imagine. Arthur, it was so up and down that match. I had a feeling we'd lose, though. That was always the case with Spurs, though. I feel like that's always been the case. You've just never been able to hold on to leads. Edward, who scored for each team? Morgan Rogers scored first to put Villa in front from a counter-attack. It was a pulled across the face of goal and a tap in at the back post from Morgan Rogers. Very good worked move by Villa. And then about 4 or 5 minutes later, I think it's Desiree Doué. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Desiree Doué, 19-year-old winger for PSG, absolutely smashed it in off the bar from about 30 yards out, top corner, unbelievable strike. 1-1. Was it a good goal by Doué? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. But it wasn't a again, maybe I'm not giving him enough credit and maybe I'll get criticism for this, but I don't think it was a particularly technical goal. It wasn't like it's literally just like he's thought, do you know what, I'm falling here. It looked like he was struggling for balance and he's just thought, I'm just going to smash this and just hit it as hard as he can. And he must have caught the ball with his laces just above the air pocket where you pump the ball up. Just caught it sweet, and it's just gone and moved and landed perfectly just under the bar. I think he's just threw everything into it, but it was a fabulous shot. Really looked like a great goal as well. But I think if he tried that again, it'd end up near the corner flag. It was one of them. He just throws everything into it. Arthur, that was when Everton were good though. Have Everton been good? Everton haven't been good since about, I would say, 2015, maybe. When they finished 5th under Roberto Martinez, and they had Lukaku, and that was when Everton were at their best last time. I can't remember an Everton side being better than that since Moyes and Arteta and Cahill, and that Everton team in sort of late 2000s, mid to late 2000s. Good half that. It was a good half, wasn't it? It was enjoyable, that, from a neutral's point of view. I really enjoyed that. Who's the better team, you reckon? I think PSG have got Villa on the ropes, but Villa are playing a typical away game. I'll say this, I think PSG are the better team overall by far, and I think Unai Emery knows that. So in order to limit PSG's sort of individual brilliance, he has to play quite a rigid style and hit them on the counter, and they have done that. They've executed a plan very, very well. So I would argue Unai Emery is the better manager, PSG have the better players, and I would expect a big half coming up. It's tough to call, but I think it's going to be PSG will still qualify, and I think there's more ups and downs in the next 45 minutes. Caleb, come on, Villa. I'd like Villa. I would like Villa to go through. The only reason I maybe wouldn't enjoy Villa going through is because I think Arsenal would do them over 2 legs. That's my only concern. Although, again, Unai Emery in a cup competition is a far better manager than Arteta, and I think he would probably do a job on Arteta over 2 legs. So, who knows? And look, Arsenal aren't even through yet. I'm telling you, there's still something in that Madrid game. There's something going to happen. Arthur, Everton were decent in 2021. That was when they had Ancelotti. I mean, they finished about 10th with him, mate. Everton fans talk about Ancelotti. Oh my God, we had the great Carlo Ancelotti. They finished 10th and 11th. I think he took a team that finished 11th before he joined to 10th or something like that, and then he left. Didn't he leave halfway through the season? I can't remember how. I forgive the time frames, but he took a team that finished 10th or finished 11th to 10th. Like, it wasn't phenomenal. They did end up. There was a moment where there was like 6 or 7 points just off the top 4, and then they fell away towards the end, and that made them look a bit better than they actually were. But the ultimate answer here is he took them from 11th to 10th. He didn't do wonders with them. I never knew Arteta played for Everton. Yeah, he's an Everton legend. Up until this weekend, I think Everton fans would have considered him an Everton legend until he was rather disrespectful at the weekend. Is Villa the happier team at half-time? Absolutely, undoubtedly. Villa fans will be chuffed with that. Again, if you're a Villa fan, if you're coming into this game, I am certain, if I was a Villa fan and I came into this game, I would be thinking, if we get a point here, get a draw here, not a point. If we get a draw here, go into that second leg at Villa Park, that's a great result. Because I think in a one-off game at Villa Park, Villa would back themselves to win. Given that they've beat Bayern there, they got a good result against Juventus there. You know, they've done all right in the big games against the big teams at Villa Park, and I think they would fancy that on the one-off game at Villa Park they could do PSG. So a draw, Villa are undoubtedly the happier of the two teams. PSG would probably look at it as, we want to be going there with a 1-goal lead at least, and then we can try and pick them off on the counter-attack. Edward, Salah is staying, I told everyone. Yeah, I think we knew all that, mate. We've been saying all that for a while, haven't we? Dead right. If Villa can keep this within a goal, I wouldn't bet on PSG at Villa Park. There you go, Oliver. Completely agree with that. I'm seeing a Barca-Arsenal final. Barca win 2-1, Pedri last-minute winner. Bloody hell, that's precise. Everton were top for 4 or 5 weeks in 2021. DCL was on fire. He was. That's the only season, really, where he's looked every bit the England striker, hasn't he? And then he's just fell away. It's quite sad, isn't it? All right, Ben, how's it going, Chief? Arthur, Rafinha scored in the 47th minute. Prem Dad, have I ever popped up on your FYP? I honestly, mate, I don't scroll on Twitter, on TikTok anywhere near as much as I should. Not these days, anyway. Champions League final spoilers in 30 seconds. If Arsenal play Inter or Barca, they're in trouble. I genuinely think Arsenal. I mean, I know I've said it already. I still think Arsenal will have an issue at Real Madrid. I think the Bernabeu's a tough place to go, even with a 3-0 lead. And if Real score early, Arsenal have been called bottle jobs before now. They've been called bottle jobs before now for very, very good reasons. And as much as I would, if you give me a big pile of money and you said put it on one team to qualify, I would still back Arsenal. But it ain't over. It is not over. I am telling you, Real Madrid, if they score early, there's a chance. There is a chance. So happy, Edward. Hi, Kane. You got any jokes about Kieran? Listen, Edward, don't encourage him. We're not doing that tonight. We're just going to be muting anyone who does that tonight. So happy Salah and Van Dijk are staying, to be fair. Absolutely will. I think, again, it's been inevitable, hasn't it, for some time? Ben, you just dropped on my FYP. Loving it already, pal. Appreciate it, mate. Stick around. I'm live tomorrow. Chelsea against Legia Warsaw, 5:45. And then 8 o'clock. Lyon against Man United. It's got to stay consistent. Paul's good with you, though, mate. Not seen you for a while. Mind your own. Bring Asensio on. I think Asensio does have to come on. This is where he's at his best, isn't it? His ball retention. He's so smart with how he uses the ball in these tight spaces. And there ain't a lot of space in that final third for Villa. Picking the right pass, keeping hold of it. I think he'll do well in the second half. So hopefully he'll come on. Hi, mate. Hope you had a good day. Aston Villa 1-0 up. Absolutely. You too, mate. Good to have you on. Mind your own, PSG all over us, but we're glad to be here. Listen, just keep going. If you get a point, I keep saying a point. If you get a draw here, it's a great result. When will they sign, though? I think they're only going to sign probably once the season is done. Or once Trent confirms that he's leaving. It will only be once that happens. As I say, I think for a long time we've known, why have I still got the clock running? What is going on? Why has no one told me the clock's still running? I think for a long time we've known that Van Dijk and Salah are pretty much verbally agreed. They've been verbally agreed since before Christmas, but they didn't want to do it to put the pressure on Trent. So I fully expect once the news about Trent starts to drip feed out that he is going, he has committed to Real Madrid, and we know that he might not even play for Liverpool again, Trent. He genuinely might not play for the club again. He's got quite a bad ankle injury. There's only maybe 6 to 8 weeks left of the season. There's a chance he doesn't play for us again, which would be sad. It would be a very sad way for it to end. Even if he comes on and lifts the Premier League title, it's sad. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Will Sings. Desiree Doué is a serious player. Asensio can't play, can he? He's on the bench, isn't he? He's on the bench. Yeah, he's on the bench, Kane. Villa need a 4-goal cushion to feel safe. Nah. Right, why is my camera gone all funny and skew-if again? Right, hang on. Give me a minute. Let me fix that. That's doing me head in. Right. Hopefully that's a touch better. Ish. Are we better? There you go. Just a draw in Paris, I'll be happy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ben, do we go hard for Frimpong at Bayern? Bayer Leverkusen. Quite a few people have said that. I don't know. I don't want to kind of stunt Bradley's growth. Do you know what I mean? I think Bradley's a phenomenal right back, and part of me thinks the better move for him and for Liverpool would be that we go and get someone like Kimmich. Like Kimmich from Bayern. I don't know what's happening with him. I can't remember if he's signed or what, but I'm talking about someone who's kind of late 20s, maybe early 30s, experienced, good pro. You can put him in, no problem. He'll play, he'll do well. He'll be reliable without being exceptional. And he won't stunt Bradley's growth. He can come in and be a really vital part of the team, of the squad, and he'll play enough games, because Kimmich we could put into midfield as well. And I think that's the sort of player Liverpool need with Conor Bradley. If you sign Frimpong's, what, 25, 26? Frimpong comes in, Conor Bradley's not getting a kick. You don't want that. Don't want that. Very good player. Dortmund v Arsenal in the final. I think Dortmund would beat you. How's the wife and the little one today, Kieran? It's getting personal. No, it's all good, mate. Cheers. Yeah, they're good, thank you. They're good. Enjoyed the sunshine today. Arthur, honestly, I've never been so interested in the Champions League. I love the new format. Do you know what? I'm glad you pointed that out. I actually think the league format's done an awful lot of good this season. Even though Liverpool are probably the team that's been hurt most by it. The fact that we finished top and somehow got PSG. And there's teams who finished way down, just got nobodies. Ben, I really like Bradley, but can you rely on him? Injury record isn't great. He's only had a couple of bad injuries, hasn't he? He's not had. I don't think his injury record at that age, anyway, is any worse than Trent's was, for example. He's still growing as well at that age. You're still up until kind of your mid-20s. Your body still adapts. Gerrard had some big injuries at that age as well. There was worries about him. Still sort of growing into his body. So I'm not overly concerned about Bradley's injury record. Zabaleta. Sister Fister, what did you eat today? Nando's. No Nando's. I had Nando's yesterday. I had Greek today. But I didn't actually have it at dinner. I didn't have anything at dinner. Didn't have anything at breakfast either, actually. I was too busy. Been busy all day. And then I went out for a Greek tonight with the better half. She wanted Greek, so we went and had some Greek. Had a little bit of hummus. Very nice. Hummus, halloumi, and lamb. Chef's kiss. Seamus Coleman. Kane, why are you just naming random exceptionally good right backs? Bring back Zanetti. How's that getting personal, mate? I was being no, I wasn't saying personal as in about my personal life, not personal as in nasty. I understand, mate. Don't worry. I wasn't having a dig. Red rewards, not a Greek. I've went from 10 stone to 14 stone. Nice. Good lad. Sister Fister, you had halloumi yesterday. Halloumi's nice. Halloumi is food of the gods, and it's a superfood. I'm led to believe haggis is a superfood as well. We're going off topic a little bit, but is Rafinha... Why am I saying Rafinha? Rafinha's goal for Barca. It's been given to Rafinha, but I think... Is that Pau Kabasi running away celebrating it? Yeah, it's a good finish. Really good finish. There you go. Barca 1-0 up. That's by eating takeaways. So how's that good? Well, you know, whatever. You're a boxer, aren't you? You like boxing. You like putting weight on, bulking, whatever. I'm trying to shed. I'm trying to lose the weight. And I'm not going to get there by eating takeaways. Man skips the jokes. I'm not skipping jokes. What jokes? What jokes? I haven't seen any jokes. Arthur, I want either Barca or Bayern to win the Champions League. I'm still rooting for PSG, I'll be honest. I really like Luis Enrique. Disasi's coming on for Cash. Cash obviously got booked in the first half, so Disasi coming on. I would imagine that means that... Maybe... Does that mean Kamara moves back? Does Disasi stay at right back? Does that change how Villa's set up a little bit? No other changes. Everything else still stays as it is for PSG. But the game's off for the second half. We're underway. Massive, massive second half here. I don't want to say it. Say what? Disaster Disasi. Yeah, I don't rate Disasi. Bit of a nightmare, isn't he? It doesn't matter what, Kieran. It was a joke, but I'm a good egg, so I'm not going to say it. I didn't even see a joke, so if it was in there, then yeah, I didn't. Yeah, genuinely didn't even see it. Barca 2, Dortmund 0. Barca 2, Dortmund 0. Massive. Massive result for Barca. That's pretty much the second leg done and dusted, I think, there. Because they're breezing past it. Absolutely breezing. Merson went wild again at Villa's goal. I mean, that's like the ideal, isn't it, for Paul Merson? Villa-Arsenal semi-final. Enjoyed his best moments, arguably, at Villa Park. And Middlesbrough. Actually, no, not Middlesbrough. Portsmouth. Good player, Paul Merson. Bit of a divvy as a person, but a good player. Very good player. I think you could file a lot of players under that category, couldn't you? Bit of a divvy as a person, but a very good footballer. Paul Gascoigne, Paul Merson, Paul Pogba. Maybe it's a Paul thing. Maybe it's just a Paul thing. PSG flying down the left-hand side here. They've got Villa penned straight in their own box again. Kvaratskhelia, what a player he is. I'm so gutted Liverpool didn't sign him. Different class. I can't stand Paul Merson, never have. Yeah, I mean, I don't like him as a pundit. I found him a little bit irritating as a pundit just because of the way. It's little things, like if your job is to watch football, I kind of feel like you should nail pronunciations a little bit. Like, Kvaratskhelia is a tough name to pronounce. But you do the work and you figure it out so you don't embarrass yourself live on air. He does that with pretty much every footballer he talks about. So I kind of get the feeling like He should be doing better with that. I never rated Pogba. No, I never rated Pogba. I think he was always someone who looked like a better player than he actually was. This is well worked by PSG. Kvaratskhelia down the left-hand side. Wonderful step over. Oh, and what have we just been saying about him? There he is, the Georgian Messi. Kvaratskhelia, unbelievable. You can't stop that. Martinez is just looking at it like, Jesus, what can I do about that? You can't do anything about that. 2-1 PSG. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. PSG 2. Aston Villa 1. How do you like the new scoreboard as well? Again, I'm not making a big deal out of it, but I was really impressed with that. The fact that it actually flashes up as PSG. Simple things amuse small minds. He calls De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. There's a load of people who pronounce players like that. I mean, I know Bruno Fernandes is how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's Bruno Fernandes, isn't it? Let's be straight. I know that even he says it's Bruno Fernandes, but I'm not calling him Bruno Fernandes. Bit fancy that. That was different gravy. That was a wonderful finish. And that's what I was saying. I just think PSG have got too much for Villa. They're a far better side. They've got far better individual players. And, now, I think this, a lot of Villa fans would have taken before the game. I don't think there's a Villa fan in that ground tonight who thought coming into this, yeah, we can beat these. We can beat these. I think they all probably thought, you know what, if we get away with a draw, I'll take that. It's all right. It's a good away performance. And even some a bit more pragmatic would have said, put a good fight in, come away with even just a 1-0 defeat, get them back to Villa Park and we'll have a go at them. Tie's still on if it finishes 2-1. If it gets to 3-1, then questionable. Edward, sorry, Kieran, you losing weight is like United getting relegated. Never going to happen. I'm joking, pal. Hey, it's happened before. Ben, if you could take any player out of Villa's side, who would it be? Morgan Rogers, every day of the week. Every day of the week, Ben, and twice on Sunday. Love him. Absolutely love him. PSG again, flying down the left here. Good ball, pull back, unlucky. Disaster got sent back to Chelsea. I mean, you can't really blame Disasi there. You can't blame Disasi. That was I don't know. You could have put anyone there. You could have put any right back you want. You could have had Cafu. You could have had, anyone. Any top right back you name. It doesn't matter. Carvajal at his best. Doesn't matter. Trent Alexander-Arnold at his best. Anyone. 1v1. Lilian Thuram. Whoever. Put him there at that right back. And I think Kvaratskhelia still scores that goal. That was insane. Turned him inside out. You can always blame Disasi. Oh, they're in again. There you go. See, Disasi's just won that back there. Good foot-in stuff. That's better. That's better from Villa. Needs to just keep the ball now. Keep the foot on it. Don't lose it. And there you go. They lose it. It's not good enough. This is where they're going to lose it. They're really going to... Oh, and they just about get it away. Tough. Dallo and Dorgu stops him. Oh, no. The United fans in the chat. Kieran Gibbs would have stopped him. See, Wan-Bissaka is probably up there in terms of defensive right backs. He's unreal, isn't he? You don't get past Wan-Bissaka all that easy. So I agree. I think Wan-Bissaka there. Dalot is the most overrated player in the world, to be honest. Might be a touch hyperbolic, that one, Arthur. Might be a touch of hyperbole there. I don't see the issue with Dalot. The United fans seem to hate him. I don't see the issue. I mean, he's a liability going forward. He carries it forward. And he's always likely to have a 40-yard shot over the bar. But he's not actually a bad little defender, is he? He's capable. There's certainly worse United defenders. Man skipping comments again. Which comments? What are you on about? There's no comments. The last comment you put in was man skips the jokes now. That's literally the last comment I've just seen of yours in the chat. 42 is disrespected so much. He is, isn't he? He is. From a Liverpool fan as well. I think they'll always I don't think he's great, but he's not anywhere near as bad as some people are saying. Luke, PSG are winning the Champions League, I'm telling you. Hope so, Luke. Hope so. Yeah, I like Luis Enrique. I think they're the best side I've seen play Liverpool in many, many years. I love Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia is such a wonderful player to watch. He's one of the players, like a proper throwback to your Ronaldinhos and all that. I know he's not exactly that same style of player, but in terms of you'd pay the entry fee to go and watch him, Kvaratskhelia is that sort of player. Skins players inside and out. He can finish. He's strong. He works his backside off. He's so good. He's pacey as well. And there's just a lot to like about him, isn't there? Like he doesn't strike me as a player who dives a lot. I mean, even in the first half, Kvaratskhelia could have gone down. Probably should have stayed down. He got a penalty, I think. He got kicked in the shins. He got back up and carried on, tried to play, and that probably hurt PSG. But there's a lot to like about him. A lot to like about him. Why aren't my comments coming in? I don't know. I can only assume that you're being a bit of a tit. Luke, wow. Has he scored again? Kvaratskhelia. Oh, just wide. Corner. That's probably why you're insulting people. I've not changed the settings or anything. I mean, you usually insult me. So I can only assume TikTok's just seeing what you're about now. But yeah, the insults aren't appreciated very much. I'm insulting Kieran. All I said was Jabba the Hutt. Stop ignoring. Chief, wind your neck in. Is everything okay at home, Kane? Is everything all right? You seem to have ramped the insults up. Do we need to pause the game and just have a quick chat? Just have a little... Do we need to have an intervention? Is everything all right at home? Just seems like you're not being very kind. No, my mum left me. And your dad. Bloody hell. I'm an orphan. Well, I think you should seek help, mate. Doué should have been United's 10. He's a good player. He's a very good player. He's still young. I mean, the goal he scored, I do still think was a little bit of a reckless swing of the foot. Again, if he tries that again, it probably goes to the corner flag. But it was a wonderful goal. Looked amazing. Arthur, I don't insult you. I think these insults are a bit harsh, seriously. Well, hey, listen, some people need to put others down to build themselves up, eh, Arthur? Here's Asensio coming on. At least we've got something good. Did you just say seek help? Hey, listen, you're the one who's saying you've got issues, Chief. If you've got issues, go and seek help. I only want the best for you. You know that. I only want the best for you. Ball into the far post. Villa cleared away. They're going to have to try and put a bit more pressure on, certainly to get out their own half. Oh, ball across the face of goal. A little bit high there. Tielemans is going to rescue it. PSG didn't have... Didn't mark too well there. Aston Villa got the run on him. They do just seem a little bit slack at the back, I've got to say. Just seem a little bit slack. If Salah tries that, ball's ending up in your backyard. Yeah. Chance. Kvaratskhelia overruns it. PSG. Oh, good save, Martinez. Whew. Very good save. PSG are knocking at the door. They are knocking at the door. Kieran is becoming a therapist, but he needs one to help lose beef. Listen, lads. Edward, is everything okay with you? Are you two all right? Is there something going on? Do we need to have a conversation? As I say, you know I only want the best for you, lads. But it seems like you're a little bit upset at the minute. And I don't want that for you. I insult Kieran because people insult me and I'm insecure. Well, you've got to. Sometimes the muck rolls downhill. Bro, I love you, really. You know that. Well, then just if you're okay, and you love me and you love yourself, which is the more important thing, then be kind, be nice. It's all good. If things aren't okay and you need to dish out insults, then maybe we need to stop the game and have a chat. Have a little chat. Who did Kvara just send there with that little... I mean, he's sending people all night, Chief. He's been sending people all night. Love you really, Kieran, but insulting you is love. I mean, sometimes love ain't love. Do you know what I mean? Love ain't love. Aston Villa, they're not really getting out here now. They had a little minute there where they had hold of the ball, and now PSG are just countering on them too easy. They've committed a lot of bodies forward. Kvara, blocked at the near post by Pau Torres, I think it was. That's a cracking tackle. So whoever that was has just sent. I think it was Rodgers. Just sent Rodgers flying. It was a belting tackle. Unbelievable. What's the wife up to? Is she working today? Is she in here? If she's in here, hello, Prem Mum. Hope you're okay. She's not in here, mate. She's not in here. Here's Martinez pumping the ball long. Oh, he's giving it away. PSG are back at him again. They can't do this, Villa. They're going to have to be smarter. They keep trying to pass out from the back. We've seen them get in trouble doing that before. PSG are picking up all the second balls. This is only going to end one way. This is going to 3-1. Arthur, by the way, in all seriousness, if anyone's struggling, my door's always open. As is mine. I did mean that very candidly, by the way. Oh, there's a claim for a penalty here. Dembele stops. He pulls it inside and... No, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. It does hit his hand, but you're not getting that. I'm sorry. You're not getting that. That's madness. That's madness. If they give a penalty for that, the game's done. The game is done. He's sliding in. His hand is on the floor. It's not a penalty. It might hit his hand in the area. And the fact that they had a check last night for something similar to that for Arsenal suggests they will at least look at this. And it's been ruled out. It's fine. It's not a penalty. Thank God for that. The game would have been done. Yeah, the game would have been absolutely game done there. That's not the sort of thing we want to see. Penalties for that. Corner, near post flick on. It was João Neves at the near post. And it comes in straight to Martinez. That should be indirect free kick, in my opinion. Really? Why? PSG have had some great chances tonight. Martinez has had to be at somewhere approaching his best to try and get something out of this game, really, for Villa. Here's Rashford driving through, unlucky. That was better, much better from Villa. Bit of penetration there. Ben Twist, do all three promoted sides next season go straight back down, Key? I guess it depends who it is. I think if Sheffield United come up, then yes, they'll definitely go back down. Burnley are probably the best placed team to stay up, just because they've switched from being the Vincent Kompany kind of high press, ball on the deck sort of team to a little bit more methodical, a little bit more pragmatic, very hard to score against. Sort of a bit more traditional Burnley side that we're used to. So I think Burnley are best placed. Leeds have got the investment of Red Bull. I think their squad is better, although I don't rate their manager at all. I think Leeds' manager would probably be gone by Christmas. So I expect what we'll see, personally, is I think Leeds and Burnley come up. I think Sheffield United fall away. Leeds and Burnley come up automatically. And from the playoffs, I would love to see a bit of a curveball, whether it be Bristol, whether it be Coventry. Maybe I'd like Sunderland, and I would actually like to see Sunderland come up. But any of them three, and I would say at least one of them stays up. Yeah, probably Burnley will stay up. People talk about the relegated teams, the promoted teams going down. It's happened in each of the last 2 years, but before that, it's only ever happened once in the Premier League in 28 years. I think the last time was 97. So it happened once in 97, hasn't happened since, and then happened in the last 2 seasons. So that could be a trend, or it could just be a coincidence. Big advantage to defender in that position, like he's getting done if his hand isn't going down like that. That's true. That's true, but you've got to have balance. You've got to have stability. Another 20th placed finish for Sheffield United. Sheffield United are horrendous. It's 3-0 to Barcelona. Lewandowski against his old team. 3-0. That should be done. I want Coventry to come up. If Lampard made a return to the Prem, again, I would see Coventry coming up as. Again, they're a decent side, Coventry, but they'd come up and they would be everything that Luton were. They'd go back down. Luton, Coventry, Southampton this season. That's what you'd get with them, and I think you'd probably see a little bit of the same. Bristol City, I think there's a lot to like about them. Bristol City, there's a little bit of the Ipswich Towns about them. So, yeah, I could maybe see Bristol City doing something. I think Leeds would be fine, and I think Burnley could be fine as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what the other teams around the bottom do. You know, next season, Wolves, are they able to kick on? Everton will probably be there or thereabouts again. I know they've got the new stadium, but the new stadium, by the way, means increased costs, which means less money for them to spend in the transfer market often as well. So Everton might be back down there again. And you just never know. You never know. Brentford, you know, they might let Thomas Frank go. They might let Mbermo go. So yeah, there's a number of teams in the Prem who could go down, even if the promoted ones don't. But I think it's a good question, Ben. It's a good question. Barca v Inter's going to be interesting. Barca v Inter could well be a final, really, on another day, in another tournament, in a different setup. Barca v Inter would be a very, very good final. My comments aren't popping up and I didn't say anything bad. It's nothing I'm doing, Chief. It's nothing I'm doing. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Arthur, I want to see someone who's not Sheffield United or Southampton finish 20th, or Norwich. Norwich aren't coming up. There's some teams who do just bounce around, don't they? Up and down. Burnley's probably one of them. But this is a different Burnley than the iteration we saw come up with Company. Callum, 1 goal off 2-2. You called it. I think it's far more likely to be 3-1 than it is 2-2, for what it's worth. But it's been a good game. It's been a very, very good game. The PSG goals have been unbelievable, haven't they? Just thinking back to it, we have been treated these last couple of nights in the Champions League. The goals last night for Arsenal, the Mikel Merino finish, and I rate that higher than the Rice free kicks. I still think that Mikel Merino finish was insane. The goal tonight from Doué, the goal from Kvaratskhelia, we've been blessed. There's been unbelievable goals in the Champions League. Edward, Kieran I left came back with a new attitude. Going to be nice. Cheers, mate. Sheffield United are always up and down. Yeah, they're not fantastic. James, just been to a Chinese near Emirates. Tried to sell me rice for 100ml liberties. Nice. Arthur, I have Rafinha to score a brace and Rodgers to score, so I'm right on track at the minute. Have you put money on that? Have you actually put money on that? Rafinha to score a brace and Rodgers to score. I tell you what, fair play. Any news on the lottery numbers this week? If you've managed to predict that, good lad. Well done. I've put money on that. And too inconsistent. Yeah, that's true. Very true. I've put money on that. So pleased. Rafinha, the little thief. Here we go. Dembele driving forward. Outside chance. Kvaratskhelia in the area. He's playing more of a centre forward role now. Guy, he can just do it all, can't he? He can just do it all. The Georgian Messi. The Georgian Messi. Vitinha. Here we go. Aston Villa are going long now. Last 20 minutes. They're gonna have to do something. Gonna have to do something. Say it's 2-2 first leg, last minute, you have a corner, are you sending your keeper up? No. Never. Never in the first leg. Never ever. Too much to play for. Oh, that's insane. PSG, and again here. Chance. Hits 3. I think he's offside. Hakimi's just fired that in at the near post. He is offside. They're going to check it. I think he is just a little. He did look like he went a bit early. Oh, it's close, but he is offside. It's close, but he is offside. Wonderful pass though from Kvaratskhelia. He's playing on the right now. I think they've switched sides. And he just slipped Hakimi in there. Hakimi got to the byline and smashed it across the face of goal. Fabian Ruiz is coming off for Warren Zaire-Emery. And Due is going off for... Who's coming on? Bradley Barcola. It's not getting much better. Right, bro, I'm going to go off. I've no idea why I can't comment, but have a good night. You can comment. What would you do if Arsenal won the Champions League? I mean, I wouldn't be made up with it. I wouldn't be ecstatic. I'll level with you. Yeah, I wouldn't be ecstatic. It's not something anyone wants to see. Let's level with you. It's not something anyone bar Arsenal fans wants to see. You just know how they'd be unbearable, wouldn't they? Some aren't popping through, mate. I don't know why. Log out, maybe log out and come back in. Chance! Oh, Villa have just hit it straight at the keeper. Morgan Rogers again. Oh no, it's Jacob Ramsey, I think. Sorry, Jacob Ramsey, that one. Imagine social media that day. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'd stop it. I'd turn it off. Yeah, Kane, the only thing I can think of is log in, log out, clear cache, whatever, clear cookies. I don't know how you do that on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, some comments are coming through absolutely fine. It usually pops up and it says some comments have been filtered because they were, I don't know, obscene or whatever TikTok determines them as. But that's not come up. I haven't seen that, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you, mate. Here's Rashford. He's got a chance here. Pulls it back. That's a free kick, surely. That's a free kick to Villa. Oh no, he's kept it. He's managed to keep it. Wonderful chance. Oh, big opportunity there for Villa. Very big opportunity. It was Konza somehow getting into the box. How's he managed that? I'm going to say this. I'm an Arsenal fan. Of course, I would love to see him win. But if they beat Real Madrid, I think they should have the Champions League, personally. I don't know. I don't know, because this is the thing. I think Real Madrid have... Just because you beat Real Madrid doesn't mean you're as good as Real Madrid. You're not better than Real Madrid. Real Madrid are still an exceptional side. Arsenal played them off the park last night, but Real Madrid were terrible. One result doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. If you go through against Real Madrid over 2 legs, then, fair play. Arsenal this season will have been better than Real Madrid. I will absolutely give them that credit. But I don't think that means they've won the Champions League. I don't think that should mean they're the best team in Europe. There's been a lot of very good teams in Europe this year. They make the final easy if they survive Madrid away. No, they don't. Not against PSG. This PSG... Look how well PSG have played tonight. I think PSG beat Arsenal over 2 legs. I've said that from the start. I think PSG go on to win this. Kane doesn't happen for anyone else's. I have no idea what's wrong with my app. Go into someone else's live for just for like 2 minutes and try it in there. Go and have a look in someone else's live. Make a few comments and have a see. I haven't done... It's Barcelona 4, Dortmund 0. I haven't done anything. I don't know how I would do anything to change it. I don't know. I can't limit it. I know how to mute now. But that is literally about it. It would be... I can't select some comments and allow others. I think that's all done by TikTok. So I've no idea. I said it before, if Arsenal win, I'm going to rugby. Yeah, I mean, it would be worse for you as a Spurs fan. 42, they've already done them 2-0. Arteta has their card. I'm not sure that's the case. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the case. That was in a league game. And to be fair, PSG were dreadful in the league phase. I think they're a different side now. Largely because they have Kvaratskhelia. I don't think they had Kvaratskhelia then, did they? When they played Arsenal. That was before Christmas, wasn't it? Arthur, I hoped it was Rafinha. No, it was Jamal. Arthur shared the live. Cheers for sharing the live. I appreciate that. If you can share the live, it makes a massive, massive difference. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Right, we're on the 77th minute, so there's still time. J4Y, Rafinha's so good, man. Yeah, he is brilliant. He is a brilliant player. I mean, Barcelona, they've kind of come out of nowhere, haven't they? Didn't see him all that long ago. They looked a bit of a wreck as a club. And now, all of a sudden, you look at them and you think, wow, they've got Rafinha on the left, Yamal on the right, Lewandowski in the middle. Oh, might be a penalty. Might be a penalty. Referee says no. PSG are going mad. Kvaratskhelia absolutely scalding look. Oh, it was Pau Torres. He does put an elbow across him. There is an elbow there. No, I don't think you're getting a pen for that. Don't think you're getting a pen for that. What was that I was saying earlier about Kvaratskhelia diving? That wasn't a pen. Yeah, so they've got Yamal on the right, Rafinha on the left, Lewandowski through the middle, who I know he's 35, 36, but he's still brilliant. They've got Pedri, Gavi in midfield, Koundé at the back, Balde at left back. They've got some really, really talented players in defence as well. Pau Kabasi as well. Some good young players. They just need to... I think the goalkeeper needs work. I think Onana might do all right at Barca, funnily enough. Arsenal fans saying the tie's over. Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, again, I'm sure they will say the tie's over, but I think it would be silly of them to have that approach. Certainly Arteta won't. Mini Pasty, can you see my comment? I can't see your comment. The last comment I got from you was, I think they should have the Champions League personally. Is that the one you mean? Not in a rude way. Mini Pasty, what comment did you put in? Kane, this might be the same thing happening that you're talking about. I'll message you tomorrow during the day, Kate. All right, mate, no worries. Look at it, yeah. I don't know what's happening. It seems it's happening for someone else now. So it might be a TikTok thing rather than anything for you. Arsenal fans somehow managed to turn the whole of football against them. I think the comment, I can't remember who it was who made the comment, but it was said that Arsenal are a social media account with a football club attached to them, and I think that is incredibly apt. My comment's not appearing, just kidding. Whee, there you go. Spurs fans know how to have a giggle. McGinn, Rashford and Tielemans off. Big wholesale changes for Villa. McGinn, Rashford, Tielemans off. And they're bringing on Maatsen, Onana, and who else? This is a odd. Surely Watkins is one of the changes. McGinn for Onana, that's a straight swap. Maatsen maybe for Rashford. No. Maatsen for Tielemans, so he's going to play on the left. Maybe move Rodgers or Ramsey into the middle, and Watkins for Rashford, that's a straight swap. So Villa aren't really changing the system, they're just freshening things up for the last 10 minutes. My comment didn't appear, I said something before. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Arthur, no one hates Spurs as much as us Spurs fans. I don't know, I'm sure Arsenal will give it a good go. I don't really understand why. I can't understand why you'd hate Spurs. Spurs fans have always been, I mean, from a Liverpool fan's perspective, alright. Tolerable. You know. There's not been quite the delusions of grandeur with Spurs. Even when they had a really good side under Poch, I always felt like you were quite grounded. I don't know if that rings true for anyone else, but I always felt that Spurs were a very, very good side who never quite took themselves seriously. And maybe that was a reason why they didn't win anything, and they could have done. You know, that midfield, Ali, came in front of them. You know, and just behind, having Dembele in that midfield as well. I think there's a lot of fabulous players. The defence was really good as well. Asensio just driving Villa forward there, as we thought he would. And they get a corner, Villa. They get a corner. I'll have to message you tomorrow, mate. I had a good opinion on Arsenal and why I think they will lose. Just whack it in one message at a time, Kate. See if it comes through. We're not delusional like Arsenal. Missed that squad. We had Prime Ericsson as well, of course. Yeah, Ericsson. Alderweireld, Vertonghen. Good team. Very good team. Arsenal's mentality. Well, yeah, I mean, people have been talking about, Arsenal being bottle jobs. Christ, even before the Real Madrid win last night, I've had people on my comments on my videos talking about the bottle jobs Arsenal. When we've been talking about them in the context of the Premier League, they've bottled 2 Premier League titles. It seems to be the opinion. I don't agree with that statement, but certainly what some people seem to believe. So if they were bottle jobs before, would it be really, really unrealistic to think they might go to the Bernabeu and bottle it? I don't think so. If only Ineos had bought Kvara. Yeah, hey, Kuram, listen, you've no chance of buying him. He was always going to go to a top team, and not the car crash we've seen at Old Trafford. Edward, Brentford will make Arsenal drop points. I don't know, they'll be riding a wave. They'll do well against Brentford. Brentford are a good side, mind. Dele Alli, we had Kyle Walker absolutely, Kyle Walker. Very good side. On that right side. Before, when Lewis Skelly done the Haaland celebration, if they go in thinking they've won, they'll lose. Yeah. Stay humble. Very valid point. You see, Delap release clause is only 30 million. If Ipswich go down, United should be all over that. I think there'll be more than one team all over that, though. I really do. We talked about that earlier. 42. I think there's more than United. Chelsea. I think Liverpool. I would love Delap to come to Liverpool if it's only going to cost us 30 million quid. That's an absolute steal for a player like that. Kieran, what a player that guy is, man. He's sailing the French league. I mean, he will win everything in Paris, and he might yet win the Champions League this season in his first year, and it will entirely be down to him. I believe, I think he's that good. He's so good. And most of the comments still didn't appear. I don't know, mate. I have no idea what to say to you. United and Chelsea are there. Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal also have such a cringe anthem. Can't stand North London forever. Thanks for sharing the live, El. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the love. We're into the last 10 minutes here, so it all makes a massive difference. Kuram Salah signs new 2-year deal. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, UIE XX4 for sharing the live as well. Salah signing the new deal it's been expected for a while. Still great news to have it confirmed. I think we'll see Van Dijk confirmed shortly thereafter. And that might just be it for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's all done and dusted. Kane sends title gifter roses. Thanks, Kane. I still don't know why your comments aren't appearing, mate. Arthur thinks she's sharing to everyone she knows. I know, fair play. I don't know how that's working, but the sharing seems to be working, cracking. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. PSG have got Aston Villa, penned into their own box here. They're going to try and kill the game off. Can they get a third before the end of the game to try and really put this tie, maybe not to bed, but as close as? Chance at the far stick. Unlucky. He's gone out for a goal kick. Kuram, here's a rose from a United fan. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't think you'll be all that looking forward to tomorrow night, though. You won't be sharing any roses then when I'm saying, come on, Leon. We'll use this break in play to just remind you of the upcoming Premier League Dad schedule. Tomorrow at 5:45 p.m, Legia Warsaw against Chelsea, live watch-along. 5:45 p.m, I'll be live from 5:30 for the Europa Conference League knockout game for Chelsea in Poland. That's going to be a big one for them. Can they get through? Hopefully they can get through to would it be the quarters or the semis? I'm not sure in that competition. Must be the semis at this stage of the season. Betis and Fiorentina are also doing well in that one. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Chelsea get on. And then at 8 o'clock, we have... we'll be keeping an eye on Spurs at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. We'll be keeping an eye on it. But we are going to be doing the watch-along for Lyon against Man United. I really think Lyon can get something. I think Lyon are going to put United on the back foot. That's my prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think your prediction is going to be, by the way. But I really do think that that Lyon will get something tomorrow night. Rashford had been dreadful. Where's the Rashi fans? He hasn't really done much tonight, has he, to be fair? I think he did have a little run in the first half, mate. But other than that, there's not been a lot going for him. 42 is conference 2 legs as well. It is, yes, it is. Did you see what Matic said about Onana? I did. We was talking about that before, Reese. Onana's kind of bit back again. Onana said, I would never disrespect another opponent. But he kind of had already said that. He's kind of climbed back down on what he said. You know, he should have just fronted it and said, yeah, I did. I said that Lyon were nowhere near as good as United. And they're not. So, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, I got skills. What are you going to do about it? That's what he should have done. And he didn't. He's kind of been a hitbag. And he said, Yeah, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that they're not as good as United and that we're a much better team than they are. You know, I didn't say that. I didn't mean it that way. He's kind of climbed down on it. And Matic has just had his kecks down, and Matic has just said outright, yeah, listen, he's an absolutely dreadful goalkeeper. So if it was Van der Sar or De Gea or Peter Schmeichel, we would listen to that criticism from him. But we're not listening to it from one of the worst, if not the worst, Manchester United goalkeeper in modern history. Wowzers. Honestly, with Spurs, the first leg couldn't be more useless. I think Ange will probably ride that one out and maybe get a point. I don't know why I keep saying a point. Get a draw. I think he'll get a draw in that one. I'm calling a draw. Score draw. Xavier, up the villains, best team in the Prem, 2-1 at their home. I'm buzzing me, getting smoked at the good old park. I told you, lads, I told you Villa fans would be happy with this. 2-1 is still a decent result for Villa because they've got a chance going to Villa Park. Get them back to Villa Park. Get at them. They might have a chance. They've already beat Bayern there. They've got a great result against Juve there. They've got an outside chance at 2-1. At 3-1, the game was done and dusted. Glory, glory, Man United winning the Europa. Not a chance. 42, Villa ain't winning. Villa Park is garbage. Oh, there's fighting talk. There's fighting talk. If I was you, I wouldn't be buzzing. Listen, if you can't get excited for a Champions League knockout tie at Villa Park with a potential Champions League semi-final on the cards, they are one game from a Champions League semi-final. Aston Villa, they've not been in Europe for 40 years, mate. This is massive to Villa. This is like 2-3 generations of Villa fans haven't seen them in this competition. Like, you're going back to maybe granddads now. Granddads haven't seen him in this competition. So it's massive. I don't begrudge him at all getting excited. And maybe even getting a little bit carried away. It's a big, big game. And why not? Why not think they could take PSG at Villa Park? Why not? Listen, we said last night Real Madrid were going to wipe the floor with Arsenal. They got battered. So there's been bigger shocks. Why can't Villa get something against PSG? Why not? I don't think they will, but why not? Villa have one good player, and that's Rodgers. They've got some good players. No, Asensio's a very good player, and Pau Torres is a very, very talented player, and I think Jacob Ramsey's actually a very underrated player for what it's worth. They can hurt teams. They really can hurt teams. Your Villa against PSG losing 2-1. It's not great, mate. Let's be honest. Come on, lads. Let's wind it in. Oh, PSG are in. Could be 3. Oh, it is. It's 3. It's 3 in injury time. That might have just taken the tie away from them. Oh, Xavier. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Oh, that's so unlucky. It's 3-1 to PSG. I'm sorry, I've got to do the flash on the screen. Oh, he up the hey, come on, don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. Oh, it's some goal as well. He's absolutely sat Martinez down there. He has absolutely sat him down. That is incredible. Do you know what? It's that front three again. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Doué. They have tore Villa to shreds. And this is why I said it. If you think Arsenal, even if Arsenal get past Real Madrid, you think Arsenal are keeping them 3 out. You're having a giraffe. You are having a giraffe. Real Madrid, even if they don't turn it round, PSG will waltz past Arsenal with them. They'll waltz past them. We're winning 4-1 at home. Hey, good for you, mate. Good for you. Keep fighting your corner. Some right whopping goals in the Champions League. It's been incredible. Yeah, it has been incredible, hasn't it? Look at Kvaratskhelia getting applauded off, as he should be. Different gravy, that fella. Different gravy. Kuran, hate Gobby Martinez. And the mad thing is, Martinez has actually pulled off 3 or 4 exceptional saves to keep Villa in this. This could have been 4 or 5, easily. PSG. Oh, and there's another one. That's a corner. Martinez just tips it over again. I mean, I think it was going over the bar anyway, but Villa don't stand a chance. Neither do Arsenal. We're just bullying Villa fans now. Hey, don't speak for me. I'm not bullying Villa fans. Hey, I don't mind Villa. Villa are doing alright. Unlucky that. It's unlucky. And that's the game. There you go. They've blown up. It's a real shame. It is a real shame that they lost it just at the very, very end there. They've conceded that 3rd goal, and that really does make the second leg that whole lot more difficult. I am really, really frustrated for Villa there. You can see Martinez, you can just see he's not quite happy with that. And it was a big, big performance from him as well. You know, you can't call him for any 3 of the goals. I don't think he had a chance of stopping any of them goals. The 3rd one, he gets embarrassed, but it's some finish from Dembele. It's a brilliant, brilliant game, and it's a brilliant win for PSG. And the semi-final looks set up, doesn't it? It's all teed up for a PSG-Arsenal semi-final in one, and teed up for a Barca-Inter semi-final in the other. Who's going to make it? Arsenal, Barca, PSG, and Inter. 4 teams, 4 different countries as well. France, England, Italy and Spain dominating the Champions League. This is exactly what UEFA wanted. This is a new era in the Champions League, new format, and we're having look, Liverpool haven't made it, but I think it's been a very enjoyable tournament, actually. A really enjoyable tournament. Kuram, you think Inter will win it? Don't disagree with you. I do. I think Inter are a dark horse. I've said that for some time, going back to even the Feyenoord game. I thought they've been a bit of a dark horse in the tournament. This new format is brilliant. Yeah. Do you know what makes it unique? Again, we talked about it before, but the fact that you can finish top of the league and still draw an unbelievable team in the knockouts, and that it's all kind of predicted. It's all laid out. The format is all laid out from the off. Listen, Villa have now got a big week ahead of them. They're going to have to try to regroup, get built up for a big, big second leg at Villa Park. They've got a 2-goal deficit to turn around. If they get up for it, maybe, just maybe. Who knows? You never know with European football. Anything can happen. They're going to have to be very, very good at the back. They're going to have to watch themselves on the counter-attack, and they're going to have to be really clinical in front of goal, because PSG haven't given them many chances tonight, by the way. PSG have been incredible. So they're my favourites for the tournament, I think for good reason. I said it before tonight, and it's not really changed my opinion. PSG are going to win this tournament, I think. And yeah, it's a big, big result for them. It's too close to call in this Champions League. Still could be, we've just outlined the 4 semi-finalists, and there is every possibility that those 4 semi-finalists change. Apart from Barca and Dortmund, I think Barca is through. They're 4-0 up after the first leg. You would be silly to rule Real Madrid out. I still think you'd be silly to rule Villa out here at Villa Park. They only need to score 2 to take it to pens. And obviously Bayern and Inter, there's only 1 goal in it. So, look, you never know. All of them have still got a chance, apart from Dortmund. That's the only game that I can guarantee you we won't be watching in the second legs next week. And we'll have to keep an eye on the others. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. It's a massive, massive round of second legs in the Champions League. And we're now going to focus on tomorrow night's Europa games. Europa Conference League first. Legia Warsaw against Chelsea. And then after that, we've got Lyon against Manchester United. Kuran, Man United's waiting for the best team in the Super Cup. And the name finally fits the format. Love it. Love it. Right, well, listen. I'm going to wrap up for the night. I am going to go and get myself an early night. I'll be back for 2 streams tomorrow. As I said, 5:45, Legia Warsaw Chelsea, 8 o'clock Lyon against Man United. Make sure you've subscribed on YouTube if you haven't already. Make sure you've followed up at the top. And I'll catch you all tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Another big night of European football. Take it easy. Have a good night, everyone. Love you lots and all that good stuff.